Turn now to the latest on the legal battle between President Trump and the DOJ. The deadline is Friday for attorneys to submit their proposals for their special masters, which will eventually be approved by Judge Eileen Cannon. She decided this yesterday. She also approved the request for a special master for those documents and items seized from the FBI's raid at Mar-a-Lago. Now, the independent arbiter will be looking for any documents that might be beyond the scope of the warrant or protected by executive privilege or attorney-client privilege. Let's welcome in now President Trump's attorney, Alina Habba. Great to have you back with us, Alina.
Hi, how are you, John?
All right, were you expecting this ruling yesterday? Because if you read her previous comments, you would expect it. But if you were watching a lot of MSNBC or CNN, you were probably shocked that this actually happened.
I don't watch fake news, but for me, no, she indicated in her first opinion that she was likely to grant the special master. I think the questions that she asked the attorneys that are handling this during the hearing indicated that she couldn't really understand why they were objecting to having a special master, and how having a special master only would give the country, frankly, a lot of support and comfort in knowing that things were going to be done the correct way. So I think for both the DOJ and the Trumpers, or the Trumpies, as President Biden likes to call us, I think that this was a really good decision. I'm impressed with her 24-page opinion. I think it was well thought out. It made a lot of sense.
Why will I not be surprised if there's a group of people dressed as Trumpies at the next rally? I'm sure we'll probably see that. They tend to co-opt these things.
I wonder what they look like. Yeah. Do they look like me?
Well, I think they look like a lot of Americans. Could be a cross-section of Americans, a whole bunch. If you've been to a rally, you would know this. It's a very diverse crowd, actually, there at the rally.
Yeah, I was just at his rally. It was amazing.
Let's talk a little bit more about what's happening between the ruling yesterday and what are you guys going to present later this week. Give us an idea of what's going on.
So I'm not handling this. Obviously, I'm not on the papers. While I am his attorney, I'm not his only attorney. So the team that is handling this is doing a good job of laying out who and selecting who they're going to recommend as a special master. The special master in this case has to have very stringent credentials, because these could be, documents that were once classified. They should have that kind of background. So they're selecting their recommendation for special master. The DOJ, I understand, is doing the same thing. And then the judge will vet that and pick a special master. So that's going to be the immediate future. I think long term, we could see a Rule 41 hearing, a motion, which would be basically to invalidate the warrant because it was overly broad and unconstitutional.
Well, let's talk about that. During that rally on Saturday in Wilkes-Barre, President Trump talked about the FBI going through his house at Mar-a-Lago, and this is what he said about his son, Barron.
They rifled through the First Lady's closet, drawers, and everything else. And even did a deep and ugly search of the room of my 16-year-old son, leaving everything they touched in far different condition than it was when they started.
I know you're not working directly on this, but can you confirm if that happened? And if so, how possibly could Barron Trump's personal effects be related to this at all?
I don't know. I'm not sure how Melania's closet would have anything to do with this either, but they went through that. Even things of hers were moved. I can confirm that, and left back in not in the same condition that they saw it or found it. I think you saw the report that she got new clothes. It's a very intrusive thing. If somebody comes into your home and has any kind of reckless disregard, it's very disheartening. And I imagine for Barron and Melania especially, that's just a child. Meanwhile, we have Hunter Biden, who has, the laptop from hell. Nothing's happening there. I don't even see them raiding his home. It's just sad that we have such bipartisanship and unfair and unequal hands right now.
I know when I was 16, I was more concerned about my mom raiding my personal belongings than the FBI. But this is the reality that Barron Trump has to face, and he shouldn't. Obviously. And then the other thing too that we can't get past is that these envelopes, most of them were empty. What does that tell us?
I saw this meme. I don't know. I saw this meme that was very funny on Instagram, I believe it was, and it said it's amazing. At first, it was the codes to the nuclear weapons. Right. Now it's invisible classified documents. It could mean anything. I don't know. It could mean that they gave those documents to NARA and to the FBI prior, as we know, which they had done. It could mean there was nothing in them. It could mean they're invisible if you're, in their administration. I truly don't know. You know what I do know is that we have seen that this was far-reaching. They have admitted, and the judge has acknowledged, which I appreciate, that they were cooperating and that there was history of them asking for a special master the day after the raid, and that the DOJ denied it, which is why there was delay. So I'm really proud of how the judge laid out all these facts and made it very clear that we were doing everything that our team needed to do.
It is an exceptional case. It deserves some extra protection, and that's what the special master will hopefully provide. And we'll see what comes of it later this week when they make their recommendations. Great to see you, Alina Habba, President Trump's attorney. Great to see you.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. September is historically the worst performing month for the stock market, so you better be ready for it. The Fed continues to aggressively raise rates, and JP Morgan is forecasting another mega rate hike September the 21st. Is that why Jamie Dimon said an economic hurricane is coming our way? Well, gold and silver have remained remarkably stable despite the Fed aggressively raising rates today. The Patriot Gold Group has a special incentive for Newsmax viewers. Huge! Now precious metals investors can enjoy the no-fee-for-life gold and silver IRA on qualifying rollovers, or enjoy free, discreet, insured shipping on all direct gold and silver purchases. Here's the number, 800-356-4470. Call 800-356-4470 today.